A fun day 3 out at Harbortown where we saw some two-shot swings. Here at the 15th, Siwoo Kim from range for birdie. Gets him to 16 under, playing in that final pairing alongside Justin Thomas, who would bogey that hole at 15, so a two-shot swing, but they swing back with JT birdieing the last and Siwoo carding bogey. It'll be a one-shot lead for Kim heading into Sunday. First thought, as always, goes to CBS Sports golf analyst Doug Bell. Doug, interesting day, exciting day. Siwoo sort of plays it from the middle. JT finds interesting spots to play it from. What did you make of those 18 holes?
Well, I thought the last hole, Justin Thomas rolling in the birdie, Siwoo dropping his first shot of the day, the Mongolian reversal there on the 18th hole. I thought that was big for JT because he called the penalty on himself on number 2, the par 5. That cost him a shot. Played the par 5 15th very careless out of the pine straw, the third shot over the green. So I thought that was big for JT heading into tomorrow. He won't be in the final group, and I think coming from behind will help JT try to break the drought. But then again, Siwoo Kim is in a drought of his own. Didn't go to the Masters last week. Had been there 8 years in a row, so he's a motivated guy. Seemingly, the shorter putter is working great for him. But again, Joe, I think there's probably 7 or 8 guys that got a shot to win this thing on Sunday.
Certainly so, and that bogey at the last by Siwoo does bring some of those names closer to the conversation. Scotty Scheffler post-round with Amanda Balionis was doing the math, said I'm only this many back of second, so already looking at that lead coming back to him. Going to be an interesting day, but another on JT here because relative to Siwoo, both of these guys coming in on 2+ year win droughts, but the noise a lot louder around Justin Thomas. What does that weight feel like on Sunday? We're coming off a week where the greatest weight was relieved. Does Thomas have it in him tomorrow?
Well, you got to pull for him, right? Because he hasn't won since that PGA Championship 2022. It really is an astounding number when you think about it in those terms. One of the great players in the modern era, Justin Thomas. The weight is enormous, Joe, because he's asked about it each and every week. Has tried to dispel it after every round. He's played awfully well, round 1 and 2. So today, although the birdie was big, there'll be immense pressure on Justin Thomas to get it done tomorrow. Again, when you haven't done it in that long of a time, even though you have 15 wins and 2 majors, it is a 1,000-pound gorilla on the shoulders of Justin Thomas heading into tomorrow.
He said it after Friday's 69. He feels like he's pressing at moments, trying to get this thing off his back, and Sunday is an opportunity to do just that. Doug, when you take a look at the remainder of that field outside of those 2 at the top, you allude to other names still being in the conversation, and there's interesting ones there. Tommy Fleetwood is a ways back. Scotty Scheffler, always hard to look away from. Brian Harman looking for his 2nd win in 3 starts. Who is the name that you look towards to inject some life into Sunday's final round?
Wow, those names you just mentioned, they're stars on the PGA Tour right now. It's a signature event, 700 FedEx Cup points. The winner gets $3.6 million. It could change somebody's life around, though, like Andrew Novak. Here's the guy. I thought it was interesting. He played at Wofford College in South Carolina, grew up in North Carolina, had never played Hilton Head until Tuesday, the practice round, because it's a signature event, right? The last few years, he never qualified. He was on the Korn Ferry Tour, never played here. So here's a guy just experiencing this wonderful layoff for the first time. His life could change. We've had several first-time winners this year. He's knocked on the door, a couple of third-place finishes. I think Andrew Novak playing with Siwoo Kim will be very comfortable. And I think Andrew Novak could come through with the biggest win of his life. And beating back those names you mentioned, Joe, how special would that be?
It certainly would be when you take a look at the stakes here and all that's on hand on Sunday with Justin Thomas trying to get it done and other names, Siwoo Kim trying to put to sleep his own 2.5-year drought. It's going to be an exciting Sunday on CBS. When you look at Harbortown and the question that Pete Dye asks on a Sunday setup, we've seen some thrilling finishes before here at the RBC. What aspect of the game is going to be most at a premium come Sunday? Where do you have to get it done?
Well, first of all, it's the iron play, Joe. Pebble Beach, the smallest greens on the PGA Tour. Harbortown is number 2. But Frank Nobilo described it, if you were listening, he said the greens are so firm at Harbortown, even though there's the 2nd smallest, they're in reality the smallest because you get these crazy bounces on these severely firm greens. So again, your iron play has to be spot on tomorrow. And then obviously you have to hit some putts. Scotty Scheffler hits one putt outside 10 feet today, had birdie putts all day, and the putter never responded. So again, first and foremost, iron play has got you, get you there. And then that putter has to respond. Sounds familiar, right, Joe? But especially here at Harbor Town. What a genius layout. Pete Dye and Jack Nicklaus, the first course he ever designed was with the legendary late, great Pete Dye. And what a course these two legends came up with.
Doug Bell, we appreciate your thoughts, as always, here on HQ.
Thanks, Joe.
A look at that leaderboard heading into Sunday, a one-shot advantage for Siwoo Kim, who bogeys the last. Justin Thomas posts birdie to get back within one, but Andrew Novak sprinting home a 5-under number on the day also sits just one back of the lead of Siwoo Kim. For more, let's take you into the Super Tower, where our lead analyst of golf on CBS, Trevor Immelman, joins the conversation. Trevor, I found it interesting as you two picked apart this Pete Dye design throughout the day, or the players did at least. 2 of Siwoo Kim's 4 wins in his career have come on Pete Dye designs. Having captained him at the President's Cup, what of his personality matches that distinct question that Mr. Dye always asks?
Well, he's not afraid. First of all, he's a great ball striker. He has a ton of talent, a lot of upside. In my opinion, he hasn't quite achieved or reached his potential, but he's a great ball striker. He's able to really maneuver the ball well. He's an aggressive player. It's going to come down to how he putts. Look, he's 140th in putting this season. This week, he's leading the field, but we saw on the last hole the uncertainty. He had about a 5-footer there, was not a good stroke at all, missed the cup by about 4 or 5 inches to the right. So that's going to be the thing that is standing between him and putting on that plaid jacket tomorrow. But look, he's got everything that he needs to win here. He has the toughness, he has the mentality. It's just going to come down to whether that putter cooperates or not.
The duality of Thomas also on display here in round 3, JT. 2 years and 11 months and counting, trying to put that to sleep on Sunday as well. We saw him take it to the depths on Thursday, Trevor, that 61. How do you describe the difference between what he accomplished on that day and what he's trying to accomplish over these 4 days?
Well, look, the course has gotten harder as the week has gone on. These greens are really getting firm and fast. He went out there Thursday morning and was able to really take advantage of a hot start. And we've seen that from him in the past. Look, when he gets things going, he can go low. That was, and now his 9th course record that he has set on the PGA Tour. So he's not afraid to go out there and make a ton of birdies. I thought 18 was huge for him to get that 2-shot swing, roll in that 15-footer for birdie, and just keep in touch with Siwoo, be able to, let him feel him, put a little pressure on him. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. I mean, we've got a bunch of guys, 12 guys within 5 shots of the lead. The weather's going to be amazing again, but the course is going to still present those tough challenges of firm greens, tiny little greens. You've got to be coming from the fairway if you want to control the ball into greens that are playing this hard.
14 rounds of 62 or better for Thomas, the most of anyone over the last 40 years. 3 of those 14 he has converted into wins. We'll see if he can add a 4th here on Sunday. What's an early sign you're looking for out of JT to indicate he is ready to release himself from this 3-year wait?
Well, look, these guys, when you're strategizing around this course here at Harbor Town, it's about the 2nd hole. You want to hit a good tee shot at 1. It's quite narrow. There's going to be some nerves. You want to get a good tee shot away, then you've got a wedge. But the 2nd hole is a reachable par 5. You want to take advantage of that. And then, let 3 and 4 come to you. 5, you've got another par 5. So you're looking to try and be 2 under in the first 5, then maybe have a little peek up to the leaderboard, see how you're doing, and start to strategize from there. But it's going to be a long afternoon for these guys. This course is tough. You need supreme spin and trajectory control here. So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. This has always been one of my favorite tournaments and favorite golf courses to play. It's going to be a blast tomorrow.
Only 4 shots for JT at 2 on Saturday. Did, however, card that 5. We'll see if he can get it done on Sunday. Trevor Immelman, looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Thanks, Joe.
This tournament has a way of offering us thrilling conclusions, and perhaps we get one again. A jam-packed leaderboard for our final round Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. That coverage picks up at 3 Eastern. More to come here on HQ. Straight ahead, Rick Gehman joins the conversation with a couple key numbers as we head to Sunday. Thomas trying to put 3 years to sleep. Siwoo, 2 years plus. Is it them or someone else? Back on Post Round here on CBS Sports HQ. Round 3 for Siwoo Kim. It was pretty much an unbroken road of green lights until the last. Siwoo, 6 birdies on the card here in round 3 as he makes his move to the top of the leaderboard, but a bogey at the last, offering hope for those giving chase. A look at your leaderboard. Again, 15 under the going rate following this 5 under round of 66 for Siwoo. Remember, earlier in the week, it was Justin Thomas carding that course record 61. He misses a shorty at the last for what would have been a standalone record at 60. Not going to take that on Sunday, but it's going to take something special for Thomas to put a 3-year winning drought to rest. CBS Sports golf analyst and data scientist Rick Gehman here with his thoughts. Rick, looking at that card for Siwoo, 6 birdies, impressive anywhere, but especially out here at Harbor Town, the bogey at the last. What does that tell you about maybe the recollection of the moment for Siwoo moving forward?
Yeah, he felt it there, Joe. I think he checked out a scoreboard. He was thinking how good dinner was going to taste tonight. But yeah, it opens the door up for everybody. I mean, this was a 3-shot lead. He a 2-shot swing with Justin Thomas. I think the good news for Siwoo is he's putting beautifully. I mean, he's picked up 5 strokes to the field. He is first in the field in strokes gained putting. I can assure you that has been the bugaboo for Siwoo Kim over the course of his entire career. In fact, we often see him switch putters, switch putting styles. He's a constant tinkerer, just looking for something to get that spark, and he has gotten that spark this week. The other good news, Joe, is he has extracted himself from some really difficult positions. So he hasn't hit a lot of bad shots this week, but when he has hit those bad shots, he's been able to get up and down for par often. That is going to be a very useful skill set on Sunday during the final round. But like you said, it's going to be a lot of different feelings. It's going to be a lot of different thoughts. It's going to be a lot of what ifs. We'll see if he can hold it together.
Yeah, a bunch of names there. We will assess the entirety of the field here in a moment, but it seems like the foils on this day and perhaps on Sunday will be Justin Thomas and Siwoo Kim. JT, we know what's in front of him. Well documented, this win drought since Southern Hills, his 2nd PGA championship. But if you look at the stat profile today, it doesn't indicate a player that's ready to put a drought to sleep. What do you make of the numbers for JT? And can you spin it into a positive and say, we've seen the worst he's going to give us and he's only 1 shot back?
Sure. Let's take the optimist route here. He called a penalty on himself on number 2 for moving a loose impediment behind his ball and moving his golf ball. He tried to extract himself with his golf ball submerged about 90% underwater. He lost strokes off the tee. He lost strokes on approach, and he's still somehow just 1 shot back. That's the optimist outlook for Justin Thomas.
Okay, give me the other side.
The other side is he cannot control where his ball is going off the tee. I mean, his driver is a problem. He is playing from the pine straw. He's playing from the hard pan. He's playing from the trees much too often around a golf course with these tight corridors. And oh, by the way, he's also a pretty bad putter. So there are a lot of different outcomes for Justin Thomas come Sunday. But if you zoom out, Joe, the stat profile for like the last 12 months is looking a lot better. He's back to being that elite iron player, but this is no longer a 12-month run. This is an 18-hole sprint, and he's going to try to break a winless drought that we're just a few weeks away from being exactly 3 years.
Yeah, point A to point B out here at Harbor Town, but JT finds C, D, E, F, and all the other places here on Saturday. It was an interesting way he cobbled this round together. Even broader than that, narrative in this game, it can be so reactionary. We're quick to write somebody off as done. We're quick to call somebody back. What would a win mean on Sunday for JT?
Oh, I think it would be huge. You know, this is a sport of confidence, and we hear a lot of guys say, and I think Max Homa said it most recently. You know, you're 1 swing away from being the greatest golfer in the world, and you're 1 swing away from wanting to retire, and that's what these guys deal with on a weekly basis. Justin Thomas is a winner. Justin Thomas sees himself as a closer. Justin Thomas's first 5 or 6 years on the PGA Tour were just an unbelievable pace that he put himself on, and he has crawled back from the depths. Remember, he didn't even even make the FedEx Cup playoffs in 2023, the worst year of his career by far. He has clawed this back to host a victory, especially a signature win, before we go back to Quail Hollow, the place that he has won one of his PGA championships. It would be immense for his confidence moving forward. So this is really the perfect timing for this drought to come to a conclusion.
We've got 12 within 5 shots here heading to the final round at the RBC, and there are some names in those 12, Rick Gehman. Yeah. Whoever walks away with this is going to walk away head held high saying, I beat the best in the world. Sans Rory McIlroy, who continues the celebration following the Masters. When you look at this field, maybe those 12 specifically, who's a guy, what's the name that you're circling heading into Sunday to flip some tables, make some noise?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. Russell Henley, this is a really good spot for him. He played horrible on Thursday at the Masters, played phenomenal on Friday. And then I see somebody like Maverick McNeely, who got a little bit of a better end of the draw on Saturday because he got out early. And he is the guy who I think can really heat up with the putter. Like I said, Joe, this is no longer a marathon. This is a sprint. We are 18 holes away from crowning a champion. It is no longer a battle of a good ball striking over 1,000 holes. This is going to be the guy who makes the most putts on Sunday. And Maverick McNeely is a guy who can make more putts than everybody else. So I'm looking for him to kind of be in the mix if it's not one of those bigger names at the top of the board.
A massive purse, a stacked field, all informing what we might see on Sunday. But we are informed, as always, by Rick Gehman. A pick here at our final turn.
I'm feeling optimistic, Joe. And Justin Thomas was the guy before the tournament started, and there's no reason to abandon him right now. He has made 2 putts over 10 feet over his last 2 rounds. It's not enough. That is going to have to change on Sunday. The good news is he's giving himself a lot of opportunities. The 2-stroke swing on the 18th hole on Saturday to get within 1 shot was massive. He had a little bit of swagger walking off that 18th green. We need him to play closer to what he did on Thursday. Go out, shoot something 3 or 4 under par. I like his chances, so we're not ready to abandon Justin Thomas just yet.
The early wedge will cover you from now until T-balls fly on Sunday. Rick Gehman, we appreciate you, as always, here on CBS Sports HQ. We'll see if it's that ever-elusive win number 16 for JT.
Thanks, Moose.
We promised the wedge. You get the wedge. Our team taking you under the ropes and into the action each and every week on tour, including who they might think gets it done on Sunday at the RBC. Download, subscribe, and enjoy the early wedge.